Hello and welcome to Hotelcast TV, Asksuite's webinar series where we invite special guests to chat with us and share valuable insights into the hospitality industry. Asksuite is the global leader in omnichannel communication platforms for hotels and resorts. Asksuite is also the 2020, 2021, and 2022 Best Hotel Chatbot by Hotel Tech Awards. We were also named 2021 World's Best Hospitality Chatbot Solution Provider by the World Travel Tech Awards. That's not bad, right? I'm sorry, I have to say so many awards. And there is more. I haven't finished. We have our podcast, Hotelcast, was elected the second best hospitality podcast by International Hospitality Institute. And that is so amazing. We are very happy with all these achievements. And thank you so much, everybody that support our work. If you want to listen to our podcast, not now, of course, because now we're going to be here with me watching this webinar. But afterwards, you can find us on Spotify. So just type Hotelcast and you will find Hotelcast there. And also, if you miss any of our episodes of Hotelcast TV, you can find the episodes on our website, asksuite.com. Okay, so people are starting to join us. We are just starting here. So hello, everybody, again, and welcome. Please let us know where you're watching this show. It's always so cool to see how global this can be. For those who don't know me yet, my name is Paula. I'm the content coordinator at Asksuite and the host of this live show. And I have the honor to have here with me today Doug Kennedy, president of the Kennedy Training Network, that you can already see him on the screen. And I will say hello to him just in a bit. I'm going to just explain to you guys how it is going to work so you know what to expect. We will talk about sales and reservations best habits, which is an important topic for hotels. We will discuss the changes in reservations, the key indicators, training, skills a sales team must have, how to drive more sales, everybody wants to know that, and much more. So if you're watching us live, take this opportunity and ask your question to Doug regarding reservation and sales. We will be happy to answer you. We love the interactions, and so don't be shy. And it's not every day that you can send your question directly to an expert such as Doug, so don't miss out on this opportunity. In the first part of this webinar, we will focus on reservations, and in the second one, we will talk about sales. So again, feel free to write your question and talk to us in the chat, and we will answer you. I can see someone saying hello from Brazil, hello from Lexington, Kentucky. Hi there, Kat from UK. Hi, Kat. It's always lovely to see you here. She's saying hello, Paula. Hello, Doug, and everyone. Greetings from sunny West London. Dylan is saying hello. Hello, Dylan, from Eugene, Oregon. It's so cool. So now I can finally be polite and say hello to my guest that is waiting there. Sorry about that. So hello, Doug. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
I'm so excited to be on an award-winning show.
We are the lucky ones because you are the expert, like worldwide expert. So we are very happy to have you here, Doug. And well, so let's start by I'm gonna let you actually introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do and your background in the hospitality. I know, Doug. I was doing some research about you, of course, and I read it, and it was impressive that it is estimated that over 40,000 people have participated in more than 2,100 small groups workshops you presented. That is amazing. So please, Doug, again, welcome, and go ahead and tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I'm so honored that you reached out. Now, I've heard about Asksuite, and I've seen you on LinkedIn. I believe we've been connected there, but when you reached out to have this opportunity, I was very excited. Now, when I look at the comments and see people from, so far we have 4 continents represented, including my hometown, Lacey Schallenberger. I grew up in Lexington, Kentucky for the first 22 years of my life. So London, Brazil, I'm sure that list is going to grow. But yes, I've done this. I've been in the training field for the lodging industry for 33 years. Now, Paula, I know you're looking at this face and you are thinking, there is no way this man could be old enough to have trained for 33 years, right? That's what you were thinking, right?
Exactly my thoughts, Doug. Yeah.
I'm liking you more and more every minute. But I did start young. I started in my hometown, Lexington, Kentucky. I needed a job as a college student. So back then, we went to this thing called a newspaper. Some people actually remember newspapers. Maybe a few of you still get a newspaper, but that's where you got a job in the 1980s. You looked in the help wanted, and it was rather random that I ended up working in a hotel. So I started out as a bellman with Marriott as a college student. At the end of my studies, I went off to New York City, to Connecticut, as a hotel manager with Marriott, and later in New York as independent hotels. And then I moved to Florida in the Miami area. And I worked at independent hotels here, mostly in front office operations. And my last job was in hotel sales. So in 1989, at the age of 27, I started out my very first training company. And I have trained 40,000 people, about 2,150 days of training, probably about 200 webcasts. I started my first webcast in the year 2000. I believe it was the first webcast. It was sponsored by the Hospitality Sales and Marketing Association. But I want to tell you now about the most important webcast out of all of those that I ever did, the most important training of all I've ever done. You know which one? Today. Today.
Oh, Doug, yeah,
Because I'm
you're
pretty
so
sure
kind.
most of the people on this list never even heard of me. So that's why I got excited when I woke up today. So thank you for having me. We do training just for lodging. Within lodging, we train any kind of hotel, resort, vacation rental company, call centers, big to small, branded to independent, luxury to mid-market. And we train in hospitality, reservation selling, and hotel sales. So we're going to talk today about the reservation selling first and then the hotel sales.
Oh, thank you so much, Doug. I love the introduction. Already getting the feeling of what it's coming, and it is good. It is good. Lacey is saying here, "Small world, how amazing!" So yeah, and she's also saying, "I work at 2021 Sea Museum Hotel." Sorry, if I
Okay.
said it wrong. Yeah, maybe Doug knows it.
Well, maybe I will this summer when I come to visit my family, but
Yeah.
unless that's the one down at Gratz Park, possibly, we'll
Oh.
see.
So nice. So hello everybody again. Having more hello. Louise is saying hello here, and we love these hellos, and we want your questions too. As I said, feel free to write in the chat what you want, what you're wondering about sales and reservations. So lots to cover. We're pretty excited, and let's start it, right? So let's start by saying the obvious, which is, as we all know, traveler behavior is not the same. Things are changing, and that, of course, will impact reservation and sales process. So, starting with reservations, Doug, what do you see, in your opinion, that has changed in reservations over the past years?
Okay, now are you saying since the COVID pandemic or both, just in general?
It can be in general. I think people. I think it's the change was happening even before,
Yes.
but I can be wrong. So you can correct
Okay.
me.
So let me first address the change prior to March 11th, 2020, which seemed to be the day around the world everything shut down. I don't know about Brazil, but it was probably 1 or 2 days from March 11th.
Yes, yes, was
And
really close.
so prior to then, the job in reservations, people really believed that voice was a dying distribution channel. And surely when the internet came out, internet came out a long time ago, but in the late 90s, most people had a computer at home. People had dial-up internet. Then they had a laptop. Then in the 2004, the first Samsung, 2007, the first iPhone. Now everyone has the phone in their pocket. We did see the erosion of the voice channel, but it did level off. It did never went away. A lot of people thought no one will ever call anymore. Now, interestingly, when the pandemic hit, all of a sudden everyone was calling. we were actually quite thankful because we had about a month of no business, everything canceled or postponed, but call centers came back very strong. And some of that has sustained. A lot of people realize what it means now to book through a third party when the third party has your money. And so there is an awareness of the public of the benefits of booking direct. Now, so that's what's changing, I think. Voice is still around. I do not believe this, what I call the great millennial myth, that, oh, everyone who's like a millennial or now Generation Z, like they hate people, they have no personalities, they only want to use their phones. It's easy to use your phone when you're booking your spring break with your two buddies or you're booking a business trip. But when the more emotionally invested a person is, the more likely they are to call. Now, a lot of people pick up the phone and make a call, and book. Many people pick up the phone, ask a question, then book online. So we're going to get into that in a minute of why we want to ask the right questions, what training we want to do. But here's what I say, Paola, there's an interplay of voice and online. Some people look first and then book online. Some people book online and then call. Many people book on an OTA, like an Expedia, Booking.com, Hotels.com, and then they call the hotel directly with the question. If that question isn't handled correctly, they're going to cancel that booking. So the interplay of voice and online. And the last thing I just want to say real quick, today's callers are pre-informed. They already know, they've seen pictures, they've read reviews, they've looked at the photo gallery, they've probably seen some videos, and they no longer say, hello, I'm thinking about staying there, can you convince me to book? Today's reservation lead is this: hello, I just have a quick question about. If all your team does is answer those questions, you will get market share. Now, let's see. I wish I could see a show of hands. Who is happy with market share? I can't see anyone's hands on a webcast, but I'm pretty sure no one has their hand up. We want to get more market share.
I love your answer. There are so many great points that we could dive in a little bit, and we do have a limitation of time. But I do want to highlight that I totally agree with you. I don't think phones are dead, and I do think that I love when you say that people are emotional, involved, or engaged. They tend to want to talk directly. And I think too, with the pandemic, I don't know if you agree with me, Doug, it's a perception of mine. People got a little bit more insecure,
Yes.
to make the decision. So talking directly to someone that knows what they are saying, that's well trained, and provide this sense of security, and give the information that they need to book. I think that's essential. Yeah, and I think, of course, technology can help the text. I
Yeah.
still think there are some situations that you can use it, and it's great. But I'm with you. I don't think it's phone calls are not that, and definitely not humans in the hospitality.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kat is saying here, Doug, for you, want more market share. Yeah, Kat. And let me say
All right.
hello to not only to Kat, but to her team, Hotel Rest
Yeah.
there. So
This
hello.
is like a virtual high five, Kat. All right.
Yeah, and this, like you said, it's an opportunity. Each interaction that hotel has with potential guests is a potential reservation, and it's not only providing information. I
Yeah.
think that we're gonna dive in here. So going to the next one,
Yeah.
Doug, indicators, right? We are seeing here when we talk to hoteliers that many hotels still struggle or are not really aware of the importance of knowing which indicators they should look and how it can help them in performing better and all that. So what is your opinion about indicators, key indicators that reservations should keep an eye on, or to know that they're on the right track, basically?
Okay. So you cannot just look at how many reservations you're getting. You want to look at conversion or call capture rate. Now, we're talking about calls, by the way, but it's also email exchanges, chat exchanges. Anytime someone reaches out to you that's a potential guest by email or chat, that's an inquiry. And the what we train in voice sales applies directly. Let me not get off track though. The number one indicator is conversion, inquiries to bookings. So ideally, you have a way to tag the inquiry as to the type of inquiry. Now, let me give you an example. People call me up or they'll email me, hey, Doug, I just got a quick question. What is a good call conversion? What should my conversion be? There is no one benchmark number. It's all relevant to your type of resort, your type of guest, time of year. It's you want to benchmark against yourself. So if you are an independent and you're running a promotion and you have a lot of random people calling who don't know anything about you, and if you're in a highly competitive market, you will get more inquiries than more inquiries to booking. So your conversion, a good conversion might be 20%. If you're a well-known, established, well, if you're a brand, you're probably sending your calls to a call center. But if you are a well-known, established, have a large clientele that is very loyal, you don't do a ton of random marketing, your conversion might be higher. But so that's an explanation of conversion. If you take 100 calls, you get 25 bookings, it would be 25%. Now, the key is to tag the call. What type of a call is it? Was it an inquiry or was it a call to service an existing reservation? And this is where you either have to use a manual form you've made in Excel or Word or whatever you want to use, Google Docs, where you actually write down a check or a slash to record how many of which type of call. And then you look in your property management system at the end of the day, how many bookings did you receive? Now, the problem is this, Paula, a lot of people will confuse how they should tag the call. So the inquiry call, they think that is only the person that says, hi, I want to make a reservation. So they'll tag that as an inquiry. And the person that says, hi, I don't want to make a reservation. I just wanted to know your rates. Okay, thank you. And they put that as an inquiry call because the person just wanted to know the rates. And then we say, really? Do you think people have nothing better to do than to call a hotel to get a price that they would never stay there? So you have to, as a manager, my definition is if they're calling about a specific date and they do not have a reservation yet, that is an inquiry. If they do have a reservation, that's a service or a cancellation or a date change. So conversion is number one. Real quick. Also, ADR per room night sold. This is a metric people overlook. It is a great way to measure upselling and rate maximization. Upselling is where you want them to sell the suites, the villas, the view rooms, all of that. Rate maximization is where you want them to sell the high price room and not give, here in US, the AAA discount or the AARP discount. I'm sure Canada has CAA. You don't want them to offer a military discount unless they have to. So all you have to do there is take total revenue divided by the number of bookings taken by the person or department. Total revenue divided by total number of bookings for the revenue for the person or department tells you the average revenue sold per booking. And that is a second metric too many people overlook.
That's enlightening, Doug. I love the first part, especially because you're talking about something that it's so interesting and not many talk about it. At least people that I've been talking with, is the importance of what to consider an inquiry, like you're saying.
Yes.
If you're already starting with the wrong data, then
Yeah.
then it's not. Yeah, and what it surprised me, Doug, and probably you too. I don't know. There are hoteliers that do that wrong. They don't understand the possibility that they're missing. That's the thing. They just, like I say, they just think as a question. It's like,
Can I just stop you right there for a moment? That is so true. One of the things we do in our classes, we do this in our in-person classes and also our webcasts, our live webcast. This is a webcast. I can't see and interact, but our company does webcam training where we actually get them on webcam. Anyways, what we do is we have them pause for a moment and find out what is your average daily rate and what is your average length of stay. And then you, let's say I could pull any number, $200 and 1.5 room nights. That makes you understand that every time the phone call rings, there's $300. Now, the reality is a lot of us have rates a lot higher than that. So you start to translate the value of a phone call and you realize your job is not to get through the calls, it's to get bookings. We have a saying, are you ready?
Please.
Ring, ring, cha-ching.
Can you say it again, Doug? Just a second.
Ring, ring, cha-ching. In other words, when you hear the phone call, you want to, I don't know if anybody relates, like young people have never heard a cash register that actually goes, okay? But it sounds like maybe you have.
No, I love that, and yeah, exactly. That it shouldn't, when someone that is calling, it's not your guest yet. It shouldn't just be a service, providing information
Exactly.
just for that. It's like, I really, really love your, how you put it. It's so well explained, and I think it was clear now to many of people that are watching us, uh, how important it is to measure, but also to measure the right thing and to understand the value. I
Yeah.
think they have a hard time, like you said now, translate it into into money.
Money.
That's the thing. We're gonna go to the third question now, and
Okay.
again, people that are watching us, feel free to ask us questions about reservations and sales. We love to have your opinions as well, not only questions. So, going to the third question, Doug, we were talking about providing good service. That's basically
Yeah.
what we are saying, and that involves, probably, I'm not an expert, but I can imagine that involves training.
Yeah.
So, what aspects of should a good training involve? Like, I mean, I know you
Okay.
are the top expert, so please enlighten this.
Well, thank you. And what I may do, if you don't mind, I know you and I discussed the questions prior, and your next question is what questions should they ask? So if you don't mind, these are tied together, and I will answer them together, and then that'll save a few more minutes for questions.
No problem. Go
So
ahead.
good training, the fundamentals of good training. First of all, for in-house training, we need to do a better job training people who is the guest, to know your guest and know your product. What I mean by that is if you work at a corporate hotel, the reservations person, or in some cases the front desk person that takes reservations calls, they think everyone's on business. Well, doesn't that look fun? Their company is paying their expense. They get to stay in the nice comfy room for free. They have no idea of the pressure on business travelers in today's world. They have no idea of the long hours. They have no idea that a lot of guests get really lonely on business. Okay, that's mostly the men. Okay. Apparently, most women, particularly moms, are really happy to be on a business trip because they get, to order room service and put the dishes in the hallway. But leisure guests, well, everyone's on vacation. Stop to think about it. It's somebody's birthday, it's their anniversary, and you do not know the story. So we actually train them to know the guest and to think about what it's like on the other side of the guest room door. It might be an anniversary, it might be a couple going away to the marriage recovery weekend to try to reconnect and decide if you're going to stay together. They might be there for a wedding. They might be in town for a funeral or memorial service. So knowing your guest. The other thing is knowing our product. We hotels do a lousy job of getting guests to really know, getting our staff to know our product. I usually ask people, hey, have you ever eaten in the restaurant? Well, not really. Um, did you ever see the rooms? Yeah, on the day I started with 20 people, they walked us through an orientation. We need to get people out in the rooms. We need to get them experiencing the resort. How do you sell a spa or a fine dining if you don't even know what spa treatment your spa specializes in? So knowing the product. Now, that leads to the ability to tell the story. You know, in digital marketing, they call it storytelling selling. Well, we want to tell the same story by phone, but our people can't do that in this industry. Someone says, "Oh, what's your hotel like?" "Oh, it's 200 rooms. We have a pool, we have a restaurant, we have a bar, we have room service." It could be $100 a night hotel or a $5,000 a night hotel. And they say the same things. "Tell me about the room." "Oh, it's 300 square feet." I don't know what that is in meters, but I'm pretty sure, you know, they say the same thing in metrics. We have got to get them, you know, a great example is at a fine dining restaurant. You ask your server, "What do you recommend?" They are going to give you a description of that food that makes your mouth water. Have you had this happen, Paula?
Yes, and I fall for that all the time.
It's drizzled with a hint of rosemary and a spicy, zesty spritz, right? And you're
Yeah.
like, yeah. And we say, you know, "Tell me what I get for my 1,000." I'm using US dollars. Sorry. I know we have pounds, we have
No,
pesos,
no,
but
but I think US dollars are great.
I'm a US person, you know, but um, your $1,000 a night view. Yeah. Well, there's a balcony with a view. It overlooks the beach. You know, we got to say, "Oh, imagine yourself waking up, Mr. Kennedy, for only $100 more. Imagine stepping out onto your balcony where you will see the fresh, salty air." I was just in the Baja Peninsula at Cabo. Oh my gosh, I saw my first whale. Okay. I'm almost
Wow.
60 years old and I saw a whale breaching. How
Oh,
exciting was
that's
that? I'll
amazing.
pay $100 more with the chance to see a whale. So tell the story. Now, finally, the questions. We have to ask the question of, we ask how many people, how many nights, how many beds. And then a lot of people train their staff to say, "Have you stayed with us before?" Okay. But they don't use that information. "Have you stayed with us before?" "Oh, no, it's my first time." "Oh, great. Well, we have a king size or two double beds, 400 square foot room with the balcony with the view. You want to book in?" You know, we have to ask questions. "Have you stayed with us before?" We have to train them to react. And now I'm going to tell you the most important question. As you have the dates, the number of people, you click search. This is what I want them to say. If you have no other takeaways from your time with me today, remember this one. As I'm checking availability, what questions can I answer for you about our location or our amenities? And then you open up a conversation as opposed to acting like IVR. I'm sure everyone knows IVR, voice response systems, right? That just if that, all we do is get dates and check rates, we're not selling. We're going to be replaced by artificial intelligence. But if we say, "Hey, by the way, Paula, as I'm checking those dates, any questions I can answer for you?" That's the most important question. And so let's hear it from the audience. I see one question. Didn't look at it yet, but far away here, Paula.
Yeah. Just before we go to the question, just saying that your ring ring ching ching is a popular one now. That people like that.
I like that. Another high five.
Kat is loving it. And yeah, and I want to just go before I go to the next question from the audience. I love too what you said about know your guest, meaning know understanding the reasons
Yeah.
why they're there and the behavior. Because I think a lot of people confuse knowing your guest as just knowing name,
Right.
information, data, and that's it. But I'm gonna be provocative here, Doug. I know I was a hotelier and I still have friends that work out to the hotel
Yeah.
and they're like, yeah, that sounds great, but it is so hard because it's labor shortage and
Hmm.
they feel stress, the employees, like how to provide this, all this great, service that takes time, of course, when you're there struggling with so many things. Uh,
Hmm.
what can you tell them to so they
Well,
don't get in despair, let's say?
we could take 1 hour. I would love to have that subject. I'd probably bring in Kathy Cook, our executive director of training. She loves to talk about hotel culture and people. First of all, from a sales perspective, this may relate to Mateo's question here. People are reluctant to invest. Now, Mateo references innovation through automation. We can talk about that, but they may be hesitant to invest in more people. If your people do not literally have time to take care of your guests, you need more people. Okay. And if you've got to get them to translate that back into one more booking. That's why I do that exercise. One more booking a day, or one more booking per person per day. They're probably paying their salary several times over if you can get one more booking. So you have to do the numbers. Now let's translate that to guest service. More staff equals better reviews. Hotels spend all this money on Google AdWords and search engine organic optimization on search engine and platform commissions to be listed on Cvent or Expedia, or hotels.com. And yet when people call, we won't spend, I don't know what the pay is around the world, but we won't spend enough to put enough staff there to actually take care of the guest. This makes no sense. Now, I will also add on the other side note, it's a very hard era. When has the hotel business ever been easy? I don't know when. Okay. What I see right now is I travel the world right now. In the last 20 months, I only went 6 weeks without training. I've been back on the road since May of 2020. The companies that take care of their staff, that know their staff story, they have the loyal people that will work longer hours, that are happy where they are. Mr. Marriott taught us that a long time ago. They said, we take care of our people. Back then they called them employees. Now they're associates. We take care of our people take care of our guests. When Bill Marriott came around to visit the hotel, he knew the general manager's name. He knew their wife or husband's name. He knew what kid, they had kids. And he talked to the dishwasher and not just the GM.
That's yeah. Again, 100% with you. I am being inspired and learning from you a lot, Doug. Here, to be quite honest, as you're talking, I am trying to absorb everything. I'm the one gonna rewatch it, and yeah, I love when you say that that doesn't make sense to invest in other stuff like you mentioned. Expedia.com or SEO in Google, whatever it is, um, and you don't spend money, invest in your own stuff.
Right.
It is so strange but it happens. Well, at least we see here that it happens a lot still. And thank you for already. I think you already answered Mateo
Well,
question.
can I just go a little deeper into that?
Yeah,
Um,
sure.
so he's asking specifically revenue culture for small owners, so more hands-on people that don't want to invest in innovation and automation. So automation, some of these are old school people, and being old school is not bad. To remember, it's important to talk to people. But I love tech. We're going to talk about that next. I love tech, using tech in a way to touch. For example, I mentioned IVR, interactive voice response. If you have a good IVR, it siphons off the easy questions. What time is check-in? Can I get a crib in my room? What is the pet policy? So you have those calls taken away. And then the person who is emotionally invested in their trip and wants to know, what is the area like for teenagers? Or I'm coming on business and I'm bringing my spouse. He's going to be stuck in the room without a car. Can you tell me what there is to do for him? You have time for that if you invest in tech for the right reasons, to take care of the easy stuff and let your people take care of your guests.
I'm into that, Doug. Couldn't agree more. And yeah, technology can provide you the time that is the most scarce resource that we have. So you can focus on what actually bring value to the service, right? We are already starting the second half of this webinar. It's going very fast. Thank you everybody that is watching us. People that are commenting in the chats, keep going. It is always good to have your opinions as well and your questions. So we're gonna go start with sales now. Let's focus a little bit now on sales. And actually, one question that is related to sales and to reservations that I forgot to ask you, Doug, is the best habits Can you please explain to us, like this is the name of this is the title of the webinar, and I forgot to mention to you because we have already people asking us why
Okay.
best habits. So if
So
you could just tell us a little bit about it.
yeah, I like to be different and innovative and thought provoking, right? I mean, we don't just want to say the same stuff. Most people call it best practices because somebody came up with that like 20 years ago. Okay. I think the word habits is more real world than practices. So I call it best habits. And the idea is when you make these concepts a habit, it flows. For example, we use the term call flow rather than script so that it flows and it becomes a habit. Okay. And so I like this word because it shows that we need to make it to where the sales and reservation sales techniques become a habit, and we do not have to look at a list or a standard or a script.
That's really well. I am from marketing, so I love like I believe in the power of the words, and I love that
Yeah,
you are so specific and you want to mean something. You know,
yeah,
that's great. That's great. So let's start with the first question on sales. Then,
okay.
Doug, in your opinion, what is that salespeople need to do differently in order to succeed these days, that when leads are coming in by the digital, we were talking about phones before, but well, of digital message exchanges such as inquiries on website platforms and so on.
So hotel sales, the changes that are going on there mirror what was going on with reservation sales. So reservations went online first. Now hotel sales has been going that direction. Now around the world, from 2010 to around February of 2020, business grew and grew and grew. So hotels could be hotel salespeople really had a pretty easy job in most markets. There's a few exceptions. You know, when I went up to Alberta, Canada, and they overbuilt hotels because of the shale oil boom, and then there was a bust. They literally had hotels that were built and they opened with 2 or 3 floors instead of 10 because they didn't have any more demand. But aside from there, we all did well. And so everyone sat back and lived off of inbound leads. And during that time, people, used to call if you wanted to book a group. Okay, if you wanted to book a room, you would go to an OTA. But if you wanted to book a group in 2015 or 2018, all of a sudden, you used to have to call in 2010, 2012. By 2015, now you could go to Cvent around the world. Not every city, but it's a platform where you go and put in your dates and the specs of your meeting. You click a button, 10 hotels get a proposal. If you were getting married, at least in North America, we have Wedding Wire and The Knot. I'm pretty sure you have similar ones, perhaps even those where our listeners are. And so what happened is people inquire electronically and they're inquiring to a lot more hotels. Whereas in 2010, someone called 3 hotels for a proposal for a group, conference, or event. Now they go to a platform, click, boom, 10 people get a lead. Now, when market is up, your market share will still be a big enough slice of the pie if you close 1 out of 10 bookings because you did the same thing that everyone else does. You responded with an email, with a PDF proposal, or what they call now generically e-proposal. There's a brand e-proposal, there's proposal path. It's basically a link to a proposal, okay? That's what everyone else does. So if you want to get as much business as everyone else gets, do the same things that everyone else does. Respond electronically. I'm pretty sure, who is it here? Kat is not happy with that. She wants more market share, okay? That's our job in sales. So what we have to do is use tech to break through. And that's what, we'll get into here in a few minutes. Use technology to break through this digital message, digital inquiry proposal trap that everyone else has gotten into.
Yeah, like you said, we've seen here too with our client base and all that in our market here. It was pretty easy before to get to sales and to sell
Yeah.
something. Basically, it was, you just have to wait, they come. And now if you have to go after them, and you have and like you said, you have to be different because it's so easy to choose now.
Yeah.
It is, again, goes back to what you said earlier in the webinar. The
Yeah.
power is change. People know, they're well informed, they compare prices, they compare hotels,
Yeah.
facilities, everything. So it is so important to, I think at least, that you know how to differentiate yourself from
Exactly.
others.
Because the rate's going to be the same.
Yeah.
Everybody is pulling data from the same reports, and you
Hmm.
know what your comp set is charging. You know what people rates they have online.
Hmm. Yeah, and just sorry, the Murilo is saying some amazing insights. Thank you, Murilo, for joining us and for having this feedback. Much appreciated. And you were already talking about technology, so I think it makes sense that we just continue a little bit about
Sure.
on that subject. If you made, Doug. Personally, I just want to say that before you, I want to hear you and your thoughts about it. But yeah, still talking a little bit about the first question.
Yeah.
We were talking before, we were focused on calls, right? Phone calls,
Right.
and how to deal with them. And now we are talking about digital, and like you're saying, how to respond to them.
Yeah.
Um, what do you see that it's so different between answering or providing a service in the digital and through a call, for example, in general?
Okay.
Yeah.
So a digital is generic. A digital is cold. Oh, yes, you can have beautiful pictures. So does everyone else. Oh, yes, you can have a drone video or a professional slick production. So does everyone else. Hardly anyone will play it. And what you have to do is stand out. And to do that, this leads to, if I may, on our looking at our list here, because I want to stay on time too. What sales skills do you need, and how do we drive more sales? So let's talk about all those because they both have to do with tech, if I may.
Sure, of course.
First, you need to embrace your CRM, your lead tracking system. I generically call these CRM. Some people call them sales CRMs. Whether you're in Delphi, FTC, whether you're in salesandcatering.com, whether you're in Event Temple, maybe you're in Asksuite. Do you have a sales CRM? Do you have a sales CRM for tracking sales leads?
We do have, no, we do have a it's another, it's a communication platform. It
Okay.
is to integrate the customer service. Yeah, it's a bit
Okay.
different.
Well, maybe you'll get working on it.
But we do integrate with CRM,
Well,
so
then there you
yeah,
go. So
yeah.
I didn't want to overlook you since you're hosting, but whatever you have, you've got to embrace it. We have more leads floating around than ever before. So again, 10, 12 years ago, one person called 3 hotels, or maybe they emailed 3 hotels directly. Now they go to a platform, 10 hotels get a proposal. One lead generates 10 requests for proposals. We're all chasing more proposals. So most salespeople today, they're struggling just to respond. And what happens is they don't respond. They don't respond to the ones that don't look like a good fit. So someone says, let me give different examples. I'm getting married and I want the first Saturday in May. Well, you're already booked. And I must be the first Saturday in May. So you reply, oh, they don't reply because they're booked for the first Saturday in May. I don't know. It's the same in Brazil. Is May a bit, maybe it's the opposite because of the weather.
No,
Most people
what
just
is
let
it?
them
Now
know.
I'm confused now. What is the month of
Was
for
was
popular weddings? I'm confused now if it's August or if it's, yeah. Sorry.
I'll just stay with US because I know US. And so it's May. Well, what happened is Bride inquired to 10 hotels. Everyone is already booked for the first Saturday in May. Now she's flexible. Well, most people didn't respond, except one hotel responded to say, oh, so nice to meet you, Paola. We would love to host your wedding. I'm Douglas. I handle weddings here. Unfortunately, we're booked that date. Are you flexible? Could you do a Friday? What about the next weekend? We offer some great rates in June or April. And then, poor Paola here that can't get married the first Saturday in May because no one has it. Somebody's reached out to her. Now, that's the first thing. That's why you need your CRM. Now, we could use the same example for a group. Everybody wants to book in US, the October conference, mid-October. Kids are back in school here. It's not holidays yet. That's when all the associations meet. That's when all the brands have their user conferences. Everybody's already booked. So some people don't respond. You must respond to every lead. Your revenue manager wants you to put it into your system and decline it so that she will know historically that there was an inquiry there. So that's the first thing, is embracing your CRM. And then you follow up. And then you don't come in sorting through a bunch of different email boxes or paper. I have 25-year-old salespeople that have been trained to use a stack of paper. I don't have a stack to grab here because there's very little paper on my desk. All of my leads are in a sales CRM. And that's the first one. And then I'll talk about the Tech for Touch separately, but let me let you react, or if anyone has questions about CRMs or that.
No, yeah, and regarding CRM and follow-ups. We are here at Asksuite. We are not a CRM, as I said.
Yeah.
But we do work with customer services in hotels, and
Yeah.
we can capture leads information, and we can offer some kind of help them to do follow-up strategy. And what I want to say is that, Doug, we are running a survey, and I'm personally studying a lot about best practice.
Yes, habit.
So sorry. Or best habits. I don't want to steal your name, your word there. But anyway, and a lot of people that like most of hotels so far that we are getting answers, I think around 80% so far, don't do any kind of sales follow up.
Yeah.
Like any
They don't.
at all.
They respond to the good ones. So if the date doesn't fit because they're sold out, or if the rate appears to be lower than what they're looking for, a rate that's lower than what you would normally offer, they don't reply to those. For the rest of them, they do reply once, but they don't follow up. So what they need to do is be tenacious. They need to reply and then put it in your lead stream, in your CRM task list, lead stream, whatever people call it around the world here today, 5-6 continents we have attending. Put it on your lead stream, and then you come into work just like I did. I had 2 office days, yesterday and today. I had this webcast, a local training, a bunch of staff meetings, but I made sure I followed up with my lead stream, and it didn't really take that long because it was all organized for today. That's how we follow up tenaciously.
Yeah, and then it's part of a process, like you're saying. Sometimes too, when we listen that someone does, and we follow ups, and we're like, oh yay, but how you do it? And then it's like, sometimes I answer, sometimes I don't. Sometimes like it's no procedure at all, and it's like, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy that you're bringing up this topic. And Kat is saying here, definitely using technology to break through. Now there are more properties than ever on the sales channels like GDS. So properties have to work hard to stand out.
You're just another pretty hotel or a pretty resort or pretty short-term rental company.
Exactly. And
swipe left like on a dating site. Not that I know about a dating site. I have been married now for 16 years.
No, but it's not. It's like that. It's like I'm gonna say the name Tinder or whatever, and you go like next, until match. So next question then, Doug, because it's a really important one, and we definitely still have around 10 minutes to go, people. So again, feel free to. We still have time to have your question answer here. So a key question is how to drive more sales. Okay. I mean, we already covered that a little bit here and there, but go ahead, Doug.
All right. So respond and follow up tenaciously. And the response does not necessarily have to be first. It needs to be fairly quick, but more importantly, personalized. So one of the biggest complaints of meeting planners have is that salespeople do not read the inquiry details, whether it's an RFP or an inquiry. So personalized. Now, regarding the most important things you can do in today's world, do you know we're over a quarter of the way through this year? Well, almost a quarter of the way through this year. That's scary, right? So, which means we're almost a quarter of the way through the century, this decade. But if you want to stand out, use technology to touch. So I'm going to mention 3 tools. All of them have free versions. Number 1, Calendly. If I may, let's see. I don't know if I can comment in the chat. I can chat to you and you can share it.
Exactly. Yeah. Right in our private and we put it there.
All right. So Calendly has a free version. And so what happens is, let's say I'm Doug and I'm selling you, I'm trying to book you, I'm trying to get you to book, let's say a conference of 25 people. So I send you a proposal and I say, Paola, let me know. I'd love to talk with you more. And let's say you actually say, oh, actually, Doug, I would like to talk. How about Thursday? And then I say, oh, shoot, Thursday, I'm taking my kid to school. What about Friday? And you say, well, Friday's good, 2 o'clock. And then I say, no, has to be before 1. And we both get frustrated and we both give up and we just email each other. Calendly integrates with Gmail and Outlook. You set up a link. You now say, Paola, it was great to receive your inquiry. I really want to connect with you to learn more about your needs. Click on my link. You can access my calendar to book with me. And now it works. Now, if you use Calendly and you put it at your email signature down there and you don't explain what it is, you won't get utilization. But if you describe it in the body, okay? So that's tool number 1. Now, by the way, we know this stuff works because I should mention we do private webcam sales coaching on this in a 3-part series, and we teach you how to use these 3 tools, and then we make you practice with us in a role play. Number 1 is Calendly. Number 2 is when you actually get them to take you up on an appointment, take it to Zoom or Teams or GoToMeeting or whatever you use. But when you get a time, then you say, Paola, by the way, Calendly will integrate with Zoom, which is also free. So if I send you my Calendly link and you book, you get a confirmation and it includes a link to meet on Zoom. And I get a notice that you booked me. So now I send a note, Paola, I look forward to meeting you at 1 o'clock on Friday. My confirmation included a Zoom link. It would be great to meet you on webcam, or you can just tell me the best number to call you at. Now, one good thing about a terrible pandemic is that people are used to being on video. So now I get to see you, which is why I love doing a video conference instead of a regular straight up podcast. Okay, and of course I can't see all the other people, but I can see their comments. So number 2 is Zoom or similar. Number 3, I'm going to type this within 2, and this one is also free, which is amazing. These companies give away their tech. Of course, it's the entry-level version, but it does everything you need, and that is Vidyard. Vidyard allows you to send, I'm picking up my phone to demonstrate, a personalized video email. Not the slick one that your marketing people, with all due respect to you marketing people.
Yeah, Doug, you better.
You want the professional one with the drone shot, okay? And some people will watch them, and you do need it. I didn't mean to disrespect that because you do need that, but that's not going to alone set you apart because everyone has a nice video. This is a personal one-on-one video that you send. You can send it from your phone app or from your desktop. Okay, so this is what, when you download Vidyard and then you get ready to start, this is what it looks like. You can see my office here now. So imagine now I'm trying to sell you your group of 25. I'm standing in my lobby and I click record and I say, hello, Paola, it's Doug from the Brand X Hotel. I just wanted to follow up and let you know how much we would like to host your meeting here. I'm actually with my general manager or my chef, and the general manager says, oh, we'd really love to have you. Let us know what we can do. We just wanted to put a face with a name, click. Now, you can embed that as a um, JPEG. It's really a GIF, animated GIF. You know this, but it's actually, you take the picture in the email, the person gets it, there's your smiling face, and it says 30 seconds. It says however long it is, very short, 15, 20, 30 seconds, play. They play it. So Calendly to get people to talk to you, meet them up on Zoom, follow up with a video email. You will stand out. This is what we're training hotels to do this, hotel salespeople, in a 3-part webcam series, and people love it. People of all ages using tech for touch.
Yeah, and it's a combination of making it easy, like you're saying, the Calendly, make it easy
Yeah,
for both parts to make it happen, and also making it special with the special touch.
using
So
technology to touch. That's how you stand out. That's how you get more than market share. That's how you outsell the competition. Don't do what everyone else does. Be different. Stand out.
yeah, great tips, Doug. I hope everybody's writing down. If you're not, you can watch the replay because this is being recorded, and you can share also with people that you think might benefit from it. We are really in the final minutes here, and just to wrap it up, Doug, we still have. You already mentioned, but to wrap it up, the best habits in sales. Then, if you can summarize, I know it's
Yes,
hard work, but if you can say just a few words about best habits in sales then.
I will. And if you want to share our website, kennedytrainingnetwork.com, we do a free monthly training newsletter, and I write my latest articles. I write 3 or 4 a month, and they all go out there, and that's free. And we'd be happy to add the attendees to this so that they'll have that information.
Yeah, and I
Um,
just sorry, Doug, and just to recommend your articles because it was through your article that I actually know you, so I totally recommend people to do it. Yeah.
okay, summarize. Use, first of all, embrace your sales CRM so that you get all those leads, you reply to all of them. And now it's wonderful if you use Asksuite to set them up for a drip campaign. That's great. But the personalized follow-up tenaciously. Then reply through email or the platform like Cvent or the Knot Wedding Wire, but also call them. They're not going to pick up, but they will listen to your voicemail. Then send them a video email a few days later. Okay. Send them a Calendly link, and they're going to say, you know what? I'm going to talk to that Kennedy guy. He really wants my business. Click. And oh, wow, I can just book him. Great. It's easy. And then talk to them on Zoom. If you do this, you become what I call a sales hunter, not a sales fisher. A sales fisher is what we've been in the last 12 years before COVID. We sit back because there was plenty of little fishies swimming around out there. We had the fishing pole, the line, and the hook. On the hook was our digital presence, a website, an email blast, a drip campaign, a social media post. And we reeled it in. But now that's good. We want to reel it in, but we also want to put on our orange hunting vests and go hunt down business. We do that through using CRM to line up our leads, Calendly to get people to talk to us, video email to get them to notice us, to put the face with the name. If you do that, you will have a long career and you will stand out in a world that increasingly is automated.
Yeah, great analogy, by the way. The fishing and hunting, amazing. We are unfortunately, our time is up. It was great to have you here again, Doug. It was such a pleasure. I've learned a lot, and I don't work in hotel sales, of course, but I'm already inspired. So it is so. Thank you so much for your time, for being here with us today.
It's been a great honor to be here. You've been extremely professional in setting this up, and I love your vibe, as my 20-something kids say. Good vibe, and I like working with you, Paula.
Likewise, I learned a lot and I have fun. You're very funny, Doug. Seriously, I love that. Leandro is saying, thank you guys for the amazing content. Thank you, Leandro, for watching us. Thanks everybody in the audience that were watching us. And again, this is recorded. If you miss anything, you can watch it again. You can send to your colleagues or friends and share with them. And if you're interested in Asksuite's solution and knowing more about our company, visit our website, asksuite.com, and get in touch with us. So thanks everybody again for your time, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Bye.